Hey everyone, welcome to Resolute TV. We're here again. This week's episode, sorry we didn't do one last week. Look, we're not in pandemic mode anymore. We haven't got all the time in the world. We're living real life as we tend to do. But this week we've got Keith Taylor back, Colonel Keith Taylor, Admiral Keith Taylor it is now, and his lovely partner. It's actually a bit of a Romeo and Juliet story based on, the government being 50s. So we're all in for that, and we've had a great conversation with Admiral Keith Taylor, the Hemp King from the United States. King's Royal Biotech is his company. And this weekend we're about to hit the road. News 2, Dan Berman and I are teaming up to bring Taxation is Theft brand to Australia. So it's time to pre-order, like, subscribe, share to Resolute. But also if you want to get your Taxation is Theft gear, holler at me and we'll see what we can sort out for you. The other big news for the weekend is it's Upper Hunter by-election time. Isn't that right, Ryder? And we're going to go up to the Upper Hunter and support obviously the Liberal Democrats because that's how I roll. And our awesome candidate Eva Pears, the lovely Eva Destruction. And Ryder's been pimping out the Freedom Buggy with some stickers, support shooters, stand up. Stand up one for Irvine. Anthony Irvine is our man here in Temora who's running for mayor. He wants to be mayor of Temora, which is my hometown. Irv's the dude. He's a local sign writer, businessman for 30 years. Big shout out to Irv. He's just started his campaign. So we're going to stand up for Irv, vote one, Anthony Irvine, at Temora Shire Council elections. And this weekend in the Upper Hunter, hopefully you've all voted for Eva Pears, everyone who's eligible to vote up in that area. So, quick recap. Taxation is Theft gear, Resolute TV gear, holler at me, it's all available. Liberal Democrats are cracking along. We had a new president. I quite like the old one, great guy. I quite like the new one, great guy. And Eva Pears running for the Upper Hunter by-election. Let's get rid of a few of these socialists and communists and other assholes. What do you reckon, Ryder? And tune in for Resolute TV this week, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I was thinking about maybe having Lynette come in for a couple questions, if that's
Cool.
okay. It's okay with you?
Sure,
Okay.
certainly is sure.
Okay.
So, again, ladies and gentlemen, Resolute TV fans, supporters, and haters. We've got some haters, Admiral Keith. You'll be pleased to know we're developing a following of people who do like us, and those who don't, which is really possibly one of the best parts of me is, we are the sum of our enemies, as this fine gentleman will showcase here in a minute. He has joined us before, Admiral Keith B. Taylor, the Kentucky ball guy, leader of King Royal Biotech. Did I get that intro right, mate?
You did. You nailed it. You nailed it. I've been promoted since the last time I spoke with you.
You've been promoted?
Yeah, I was a colonel back then, remember?
Oh, yeah, well, I did. That was going to be on my questions list. I noticed the change. So how did that? Well, let's start there. How did get promotion? How does that work?
They made me an admiral for protecting the environmental wealth of Kentucky and I guess some other stuff they put there. But basically, I'll break it down to you what it was for. It's for protecting the hemp industry when everyone else was basically growing marijuana. And I'm the only guy. And don't get me wrong, I smoke marijuana pretty much every day. Okay, I would say every day. But I also know that the two things can't coexist. They can coexist, but they can't operate like they're the same thing. So I'm the only one that really has a proper understanding of the two markets that can bring them together, because they're just like, there's no understanding there, and then there's too much manipulation there. Oh, so then they brought me what actually was what it says on the certificate. I'll read to you. In consideration and recognition of fair and just guardianship, consideration of the rich natural resources and environmental wealth of Kentucky, entailing a solemn charge to honorably defend and promote the stewardship, creative use, innovative renewal, and faithful restoration of our environmental heritage. So the first place in the United States where hemp was grown was Kentucky, and um, so I wouldn't say it was the first place where they actually grew it for like the Navy or something big like that, right? Because take him back all the way back, the King of England, when we basically won our freedom from the Brits. The king still made us grow hemp. That was our first currency, actually, was hemp. Okay, most people don't know this, so that's what they used as money. So now I try to lock that into them. And I say, look, if you're calling marijuana hemp, and you're trying to present your marijuana as hemp, that's counterfeiting. Just like because it used to be a commodity. I mean, it's still. I just got it to be a commodity with Donald Trump and Senator McConnell. So it was basically the three of us that made it happen. And the thing is now if you have this commodity and you have this commodity, well, what's weird is this one's illegal. It's a Schedule 1 drug still because the feds have not allowed it. There's certain states you can, which, hey, I happen to live in California, so I can smoke all day long. And I could have big bags of it, I don't care. So, but some states, they don't let you. And hey, that's for them. But then having to figure out how the market is going to be impacted by all these states that legalized marijuana, okay? Because industrial hemp got legalized federally. So that's it, all 50 states. And now you've got a handful of guys that the states that are legal marijuana. So they were dumping, it's called dumping. They're dumping CBD into the other markets, which is industrial hemp. You cannot do that because if you extract CBD from marijuana, it's a Schedule 1 drug. Anything extracted from a Schedule 1 drug remains a Schedule 1 drug. I happen to have CBD that comes out of mine, but mine is not a Schedule 1 drug. Mine is actually a legal commodity. I could extract CBD all day long. So now what happens is the guys are, who knows if they're mad or they're jealous or they just don't understand. They just want to make money, whatever their excuse or reason is. If you pump all of this stuff over here that's illegal into this market over here, what do you think? It's going to devalue it, right? Supply and demand. So if you dump mass amounts of something into one market, it's going to drop the ass end out of that market pretty good. You see what I'm getting at? So then they tell everyone it's oversupplied, and it's not, because that's marijuana. That's not industrial hemp. So all the information that's going around is wrong. So the country is like, I mean, everyone hates me because I just tell it how it is. You know what I mean? Hey guys, sorry, I had the largest amount of industrial hemp in the nation, and you had to come to me. Hey, that was not my fault. I wanted to get into industrial hemp, and I did, and I got it in at the biggest scale you could, and I went as big as you could. And then they all realized, oh man, he gets like millions of plants, about 1 million plants per acre. We only get 2,300, these marijuana guys, right? And it don't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter because of how I was doing it. It was like I could give away my CBD, and that's their only business, mind you now. Because if you extract, you only have two things they could get. Most of them are going to take the CBD. Okay, you get the CBD. Now I get CBD, but then I have 3 more parts of the plants. Okay, so now I basically I could take my flower and just turn it into CBD, give it away. Then I could bankrupt the marijuana guys if I wanted to, you know what I mean? Because then I devalued it to 0, right? I could have done that. I didn't. But what they did is they basically turned on and just committed fraud all across the United States of America. And everyone's in on it because everyone is just, they play follow the leader, in America now. And they watch the, YouTubes and whatever else they do. And they're all brainwashed the fuck, But I mean, I do the right thing. I set up the market correctly. Came in there, grew 2,300 acres. They stole it from me. And then they committed 1 million crimes to get my company from me. Oh, I have something to tell you. Like today, Sunday, Mother's Day, I got my company back.
You got it back?
I got it back.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a bit of a curse. And just before we segue into that, or dive into that, which I'm really excited for. For anybody who didn't see our last group of interviews with, formerly Colonel Keith B. Taylor, this is a gentleman who set up one of the biggest industrial hemp businesses in the world. Was partnering with multiple governments, was partnering with local governments, federal governments, international governments. It was, if I remember rightly, $1 billion worth of product was the number that was touted last time we spoke.
Yeah, I mean, I guesstimate. I didn't guesstimate. I was just estimating at that point. But now that I've gone through and penciled everything out, pretty much, you know, right now for the 2018 loss that we took, we kind of, it's not rounded, but I mean, it's $2 billion is what we ask or demand to USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. You know, that's what it's going to cost to, you want to make me go, fine, 2 billion, right? If you give me any hassles about this and we got to talk about it any further, then we're going to go into the 2019 season, in which they took from me too. How did they do that? You might ask. Well, they got the commissioner of agriculture. He puts a call into Senator Stan Humphreys, who is in the district of the largest farming family in Western Kentucky, which is the Davises. Which, you know, after that first year, I end up teaming up with the Davises, right? They got 42,000 acres, right? And they want to, of course, they want to team up with me, right? And I want to team up with them, so it's great, right? So
why not?
So they're like, no way, this guy cannot do it, because I end up with this. Although they robbed me so bad, imagine this: they give me about 1% of my crop back, right? And they give me the seeds. This is all I'm left with, right? It's still a substantial. It's 1% of my crop, but it's still about $4 million worth of stuff. Possibly, depends how you use it though. Well, by teaming up with the Davises, okay, I got 2,000 acres from them. 2,000, okay, and then I had 111,000 pounds of seeds. I had to pay 450,000 the year before to get those seeds. Now I have to pay zero, and then I still have an abundance of them, so I can sell them. And I mean, we were going. This is going to be perfect, right? And then they decide, oh man, this guy, he's already took over the industry again this year, and we stole almost everything. We stole 99% of his hemp, and he's already back on top again. We cannot allow this. So the commissioner said, I ain't doing business with anybody that does business with Keith Taylor. Okay. And this was validated by an email, and then also validated by former Governor Carroll in a Senate meeting, when he went up and asked Stan Humphreys the same question about did he get an email from the commissioner stating he's not going to do business with anyone who does business with Keith Taylor. And then he asks you to cancel, and then he cancels the Davises, which is the largest, 42,000 acres his family's got. Canceled it just so I couldn't be involved, just so they could take it away from me again. So I'm adding that back in there to USDA. Now I'm at 5 billion. I sent the memo to them today. You know, you guys angered me again because, number one, you have this employee, William Richmond. He said, "Oh, Mr. Taylor has threatened me," right? Because that's what because that one judge did that to me at the beginning. Although it was all falsified, they were able to like kidnap me and it wasn't an arrest; it was a kidnap. So now all the federal agencies think they could do the same thing. So this William guy says something to me, and I'll go to Office of the Inspector General calls me, and from USDA, and said, so you have threatened this guy, William, who's a specialty crops top guy. I said, what? So you know Plumhoff. So I said, hold on. So I got Plumhoff on the phone, and I was irate, right? But this guy's trying to say the same thing Judge Terry says, because if they do that, it ties it up in a legal manner in which it's like no one will even push any like your civil stuff forward, or it just sucks. So anyways, we found out what he had said, and I said, oh great, this is funny, because we actually recorded that conversation, and I have it recorded with William Richmond, right? So they basically they said, okay, boom, we asked for a sworn affidavit from him, and they would not provide, right? Because he knows if he provides a sworn affidavit, okay, then he's going to get in trouble for making false statements, right? Because he knows I have the actual recording in which he was not threatened at all. He was just basically told that the 2014 Farm Bill governs my hemp when it was stolen, because mine was stolen in 2018, but I believe October was the last harvesting date. It became legal and also a commodity December 20th, 2018. So I technically had a controlled substance still when it was stolen, which is to my benefit, because
Yeah.
a controlled substance now, like if you miss a gram, that's a big deal. It's like a pharmacy coming up short on like 5 pills. They're gonna like shake you down, right? So everyone's wondering, like, there are 2,300 acres missing of a controlled substance. How come no one's helping this guy out? Black ops, I'm telling you. They tried to kill me. You know that. I mean,
Yeah. We talked about that last time. That was a crazy story, mate. As I said, your life should be turned into a movie or a TV miniseries or something. I'm sure it'd be fucking interesting, mate.
yeah,
You've had a wild ride, brother. And so all this has happened. This is a bit of a, I suppose that gives the audience a little bit of a recap of what went on. Basically, this man created a hell of a company. Government stole it. Anybody who knows me knows I don't give a shit which government it is or whether they're red, blue, a monkey's uncle. Government has no business stealing from people at all, ever. And here he is, still fighting, swinging, standing strong. Oregon's amazing. Still fighting back, which is brilliant, mate. And you just got your company back.
come here. Yeah. I want to introduce Lynette real quick. Lynette is,
Yeah.
you guys haven't heard from her yet. Come here. So I just told come here because she's also been, no one knows about Lynette so much, because I had to, when things started going south, this is Lynette. When things started,
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
when things started to go south, I had to get her out of the company, okay? Because I knew, I was like, oh no, this is no good. She's not. I'm a Special Force Marine, so, and I've been involved with other governmental agencies at the highest level, so I know what to expect. And it's going to be a shit show. Like they're not going to pull no stops, and they're going to go for the gusto, and they did. But if she's still around, it would suck. So I had to gracefully like move her to the side, because Robert Porcella, which he was a VP, she ended up taking his spot because he ended up crying. I cannot travel this much. I would travel more than the president probably at this time easily. And so he broke down. So I said, Lynette, I'm gonna have to bring you up to the big leagues, because basically meaning I need somebody there to, because we're putting together a deal with China. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I needed some sort of support, somebody that was educated and that could, also help bridge that, not just partnership, but more or less a relationship, between the countries, So she did a great job. Fabulous.
Right.
So we were able to get it done, and but like I said, I had to. She didn't get any glory, She goes, "Hey, go sit in the back," because
They say, mate, behind every great man is a great woman. So clearly, you've done well here. So, Lene, we better talk to you while you're here. Nice to meet you. How did you get tied in with this bozo? No, I'm not.
right, exactly.
Well, ironically, I was helping a friend of mine who was putting together an event, I guess a cannabis event. I'm not in the industry per se, but I do interiors, and she had asked me for a favor. So I came and helped create some meditation spaces and places where they do tea and like CBD infused things like that. It was really my first time in this arena, and the way that he and it was actually my birthday, and the funny thing is that Hemp and I share the same birthday. Also, the birth of Hemp is also my birthday, and Keith was attending this event with Robert, and I was just pulling up on a cart with my friend, and literally like he was to the side doing something, and he turned around and I turned around, and then like time stood still, like, and we just
4 years later.
before we met, it was like that. And he had just gotten back from Kentucky when he and I had met, and then he had to leave again with Rob to go continue meeting with a lot of the politicians and people at the time who were pretty much trying to set in place this what was about to be this market, this gold rush that was going to take place. And so we would talk on the phone, every night for hours at a time. And then he asked me to join him to go to China. And if I wanted to, to be a part of the company, if I was interested in doing that. And so I said, I mean, sure, why not? But I also, I saw his vision and his love for what he does and his dedication to America. And that is what really I appreciated the most. And I'm in the health and wellness industry. That's sort of my background. So there were a lot of things that he did not understand where we were able to bridge a lot of the gaps on certain things. So I came on to do mostly, more, I don't even know. I didn't ever really have like a clear title. I just sort of, in the beginning, with a new business emerging.
Basically like marketing and,
yeah.
and business development, because, it was funny because when how I ran into her at the place, I was looking for this.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he was looking for a girl by the name of Jessica who works for Cure. But my friend, her name was Jessica Cure.
So she thought
I thought she was trying to like meet with this person. So I introduced them. It just turns out being a completely wrong situation. But
yeah, so Jessica was she's I think she's a VP at Cure, and Cure is a huge pharmaceutical company, right? And they're always going into talks to sell them CBD isolate for their drugs, right? So I'm over there looking for Jessica from Cure, and she introduced me to her friend Jessica Cure, right? weird deal, but hey,
Coincidence, very fortuitous coincidence. It sounds.
Yeah, it was great though. It was fabulous.
So,
well, looks like it's going very well. Lynette, so you're with this guy. The story he told us. I don't know if he showed you the previous episode that we had a bit of a chat and a bit of a sit down in.
yeah.
But he described some of the things that went on, and by the end of it, I was sitting. I'm trying to work out how we should get Warner Brothers to produce a movie about this guy's. And now you're a portion of this movie. Any reservations about Black Ops coming through the window or any crazy stuff happening, or are you just going, well, I'm in.
I mean, to be honest, there's been so much or so many moments throughout my time in this that I've done a double take, or I've stopped myself and said, wow, did that really just happen? Because it really is like a movie. And when you don't come from this industry, or I guess you're not involved in business at this level, it seems surreal.
And pretty much nobody is, so it's really hard to understand that they do whatever.
Yeah, and so going to China and meeting all the people that we met and sort of living, and you don't realize at the time just how special it is, but also how important, and the things that you do, the things that you say, everything is open to all eyes are on you, and in retrospect, now after everything that has happened, I looked at him last night and I started to cry, and I said, look, I feel like I'm in a war. I feel tired. I feel like we're just this battle that just is unending, and it has been. I look at all, and I've sort of taken a back seat, and in the past few years, just because I had a lot of personal stuff that went on. My mother passed away, and just a lot of other personal things that coincided with everything that was going on with the company. So we really just, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong, and alongside business. So it's been,
and the kidnapping
and having to go through that was very difficult. And today it's still, there are days where we just have to remind ourselves what we've just been through, because we're so stuck in a state of reaction just from stress sometimes, that it's hard to just to not just be so angry and have little to no justice, keep getting the same answers, the political run around, the same, just the same things over and over again. And you just ask yourself, like, where is the humanity in that?
Zero humanity.
Where is the humanity in that? And so we do our best. Some days we're absolutely horrible, and then I mean, that's just reality. It's the truth of it. I mean, I wish I could sit here and tell you that it's been amazing. There's been a lot of amazing moments, but it's been trying. And I don't think there's actually a word that I could use to really validate
describe
these feelings that I have, because I've never been through anything like this before.
Nor have I. And it's just, when we talk about this, and it's just, there's no commonality, because this stuff is not supposed to happen on every level. Okay, it has happened every level, state or county, state, federal oversight. I mean, there's nothing, and it's just so. But see, I know, because I'm involved with governmental things since I'm, a Marine. I know that someone does have to answer. Okay. So the thing is like Pamal and myself and Dan, we go through all these people within all these agencies, and we just log it down, because once if we go to court and they end up sitting there in that seat, and the judge asks them 92 times, they contacted you, and what did you do?
Yeah.
So, do not pass go. Yeah. Do not collect $200 and go straight to jail. Or at least don't collect a check, anymore. You're fired. So it's because they are, at the end of the day, everyone thinks it's the federal government. Man, come on. It's the federal government, yeah. But guess what? In America, it's the people that rule, not the government. We the people. So if people let the politicians scare them as a scare tactic, oh, he's a powerful guy. Senator McConnell is so powerful. I said, Senator McConnell is a piece of shit, right? He's a drug trafficker, and so is his wife, okay? And they are, okay? So her family, they move cocaine all over the world, okay, on the ships that they build, okay? They got caught before, whatever. But Senator McConnell knew that my stuff was missing. I got an email from my lobbyist, okay? It was the Rothschilds, okay? They were very prominent family, and they let them know, hey, this is not looking good for Kentucky. But they're like, let's brush it under the table. But you don't brush me under the table. Hey, go brush Gincana under the table. They got 300 acres. I got 2,300. I'm a Marine, Special Force Marine, and I'm Stanford educated. You want to fuck with me? So you really want to do that? Because I know all the markets. I know FTC, SEC, CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Federal Trade Commission. I know them all, and I know how they function, how they work. I know all of the laws and regulations. So you guys really want to fuck around? Okay, let's go. And that's how we end up where we are, to where now, basically what I end up doing, Dean, is I'll have to give the United States of America a fucking enema in every fucking agency, every federal, state, and county agency across the fucking board. Because we were able to show how fucked up they are everywhere. And we logged it all.
And that's the best bit, mate. You've done your homework.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done your homework. You've covered your bases. Your team's covering their bases. We all know that I'm a pretty anti-government dude, whether it's the American government, whether it's the Australian government, whether it's the Chinese government. Yeah. I don't like people enforcing their shit on other people. I think the whole world should run on voluntarism. If I don't want to interact with you guys, guess what? We turn the phone. Don't interact. There's no need for us to inflict ourselves on other people if they don't want to be inflicted upon. But our governments have a very different take on things, and they like to inflict themselves non-voluntarily on fucking everybody.
Right.
And it's inflicted at the end of the day by the barrel of a gun. So they like to espouse non-violence. And you can't do this to that person. But at the end of the day, everything they do is backed up by a threat of force. which winds me right up no end. So to do what you're doing currently and what you've been doing now for the last few years takes an enormous amount of courage, and people often forget the value of courage in these situations.
Yeah.
Lynette, you to sign up, join. Amazing amount of courage, and absolute. It's brilliant to see. Like it's very easy, I suspect, in somebody's position. You also go, fuck, this is all too hot, it's all too much, I'm gone. And you haven't, which is fucking amazing. He's a very lucky man. I know that.
Trust me, there are moments and there are days where I want to. You know, it's not. I would be lying if I was to say and more often these days, because I really, you know, that we're probably coming to some sort of head and some sort of closure, and it would be easy, but I made a commitment.
Oh yeah, we got engaged. By the way.
Hey, there we go.
In China. So
at the Great Wall of China.
At the Great Wall of China, and
beautiful.
But this was
but I was not prepared. I don't think that there was anything.
Nor was I. Because you know why? Because number one, we didn't have any rings, but we're just like, you know what? This was like, we gotta get married. That's it. So then we traveled. She had to go to India, and then I had to go to India because of the technology that I was getting from the Chinese. These Indians said, hey, we got the same stuff, right? And I said, well, I got to go do my due diligence. So, hey, we ended up in India together, had some rings made, and I would say the rest is history, but it's still ongoing, you know?
It's away from history. History's being made. It's currently right. Yeah. Who knew we were talking about the drug agency, all that sort of business, and we've got a Romeo and Juliet story in the middle of Resolute TV. So this is fantastic. I don't think we've had one of them before. Not in this way. This is awesome.
So you said you want to talk about the drug agencies? You said?
When we first started chatting, that was what we were talking about. Now we're talking about the story in India and China. This is fantastic. I want you guys to be doing in Australia.
So I would love to come to Australia.
Dean,
I'm gonna come hang out with you, Dean. You're a good guy.
Mate, the door's open.
Huh?
The door's open. You'll have a tour guide. I'll take you around. You guys would be great. Come over.
I need a vacation, Dean. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell you this right now, Dean. The USDA, man, they wish they never ever heard my name. Just and every other agency in America, because you know, even my dad told the judge and the other growers in Kentucky, he said, hey, don't underestimate that guy. Don't underestimate Keith, because he's not don't fuck with that guy. Man. Don't fuck with him. Because my dad is who put me in contact with those people. So the judge and Philippine and all those guys, those are my dad's friends from like high school, right? So it's like there are some serious relationships leveraged that go way, way, way back, right? I got family buried, you know, right there where we had the meeting. The Iron Banks Lodge, right down. Down the hill. There's a cemetery, and it was Civil War, right? And I got family members buried there. So I've got roots that go all the way back, you know. And so my family, you know, the thing about our family is this. We just say what we're gonna do, and we do what we're gonna say, and we don't lie. We'll get shit done. And, you know, you can count us to the end, and hey, you bring anything to our house, you know, or hey, we're gonna have a problem, right? The Taylors, right? Oh, and this one, it's funny. We make a joke, you know. They said, "Oh, you know, what's up with you guys?" I said, you know, I'm in love. He said, she's my first cousin, you know. This is Lynette Taylor, because she is a Taylor for real, right?
Right.
We're double Taylor. So I said, but it's okay, you know. I do business in Kentucky, right?
Probably the only time you would ever be able to really use that joke.
I actually had a girlfriend many years ago whose last name was McRae as well. The only variance was it was spelt differently.
Ours is the same.
So yeah, that's just pretty interesting. It's pretty funny, I guess, how it works, and explaining that to people. You can have some fun with it.
And we do, and I do, and she's like, "Oh, because she knows I'm gonna do it every time. You know what I mean?
This corny bloke. What are you doing?
Always the first cousin, you know. At least I don't see it with my sister, right?
That'd be awkward. Yeah, Kentucky's even over here, mate. Kentucky's notorious.
But Kentucky's all for that stuff, though. You know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we wanted?
I don't know.
Sir, did you have any other questions, Dean?
No, look, guys. I mean, with Keith, I'm pretty sure we could sit here and talk for days and days and days on air. I have no doubt. But I always like to try and keep it fairly crisp and keep it fairly updated. So obviously, you'll be welcome on next time we want to do something. Anytime you like, just reach out.
So I think that the most important things here are, you know, I was able to get the company back under my control, and the USDA and the FBI and those guys, the federal agencies they're basically playing ping pong at the moment, hitting back and forth to each other between USDA, FBI, DEA, and DOJ. Okay, yeah. DOJ, although the other two fall under that, and the other third is a separate entity, but the FBI and DEA fall under DOJ. It's still that we just got a new Attorney General, Merrick Garland. So I'm gonna put him to the test because Senator McConnell. The reason I mention Senator McConnell a lot is because I'm a constituent of his through the Kentucky Project, and you know and he was the majority in the Senate. Now he's the minority. But Merrick Garland wanted to become a Superior Court judge, and McConnell told him, "Nah, get out of here. You're a nobody. Bye-bye." Right? So now I'm thinking that maybe we'll have an ally there with Merrick Garland, and not just an ally, but I mean, shit, what we're doing is fucking the right thing. You know? Yeah. This is like, why wouldn't you do this? Because this is like what you do. This is what you do because it's the right thing to do. You don't go in there and just manipulate and distort and this. I mean,
it's nice if more people in the political sphere just did what's the right thing to do, as opposed to what's the most self-serving thing that they can come up with at any given time.
Yeah,
mate. Look, it's been an absolute delight this early morning. I thought we were just all political, but we've ended up with a love story as well. I'm all.
Dude, I love you, man. You're a great man, and I enjoy chatting with you. And thanks again for having us.
Guys, keep up the good fight. You know, I'm rooting for you. I know a lot of my friends and team over here are rooting for you as well. We're happy to promote anything we can promote with you guys and the work you're doing.
Thank you,
mate. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great wedding. When's that happening?
Thank you very, very much, Dean. Yeah.
He said, "Have a great wedding." When's that
happening?
Right.
Hey, Dean, come on. You throw me under the bus over here.
You put her on camera, brother. You put her on camera.
I gotta get my company back, and then I gotta tighten the screws on USDA, and I gotta get my loot back, and then I'll feel free again.
Fantastic. Look, guys, it's been great chatting. We'll chat again soon. This is always this forum's always open for you, my brother. Go for it.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Dean.
Have a great day. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I hope you guys enjoyed